Hi, friends. Edie Summers here, and I run Chronic Fatigue Support. And I wanted to invite you to something very special. I have been running this page for 15 years, if you can believe that. I joined Facebook from a friend. She invited me back in 2009, I believe. And I started this page not too long after that. And it really started taking off, I think, around 2010, and it's been growing ever since. And it's always been a really engaged page. And of course, there is a private group now that I think a lot of you are in as well. That's free, and that is for deeper support, even anonymous support. But I wanted to let you know something really exciting that's happening after 15 years. Facebook is allowing me to do a subscriber group that where you can be a supporter of chronic fatigue support. And what this would do is allow me more time to create more exclusive content for you. It would all be original content. I don't know if you know this, but I actually wrote a book on the subjects of CFS and chronic fatigue. It took me 10 years to write. And so there's a ton of information in that book as well. And for anyone who joins early, you will get the PDF of that book. It's called The Memory of Health. This is my book right here. Some of you have probably seen me sharing this on the site, The Memory of Health, A Journey to Well-Being. And you will get it's really big. This took me 10 years to write, and you will get the PDF of this where you can click on all the clickable links if you consider joining as a subscriber. So the way to join as a subscriber is you just go to the main page on chronic fatigue support. You'd have to join from a laptop or a desktop. A tablet might work. Right now, we're not able to join from a mobile phone because I think that the mobile phones are considered part of an app through Facebook, and there are a lot of fees that that are taken if you join on a mobile phone. So if you wanted to consider being a supporter of chronic fatigue support, there are a lot of bonuses and perks for you if you decide that it's something that you want to do. You would get, again, a lot of exclusive content. I would do really, really deep dives into a lot of topics that are related to CFS, chronic fatigue, dealing with a chronic condition, and much, much more. So again, my book is chock full of those topics. And again, you would also get the PDF of my book as a bonus for joining. I'm making it really affordable to join, under $5 a month for charter members. And we're going to be covering subjects like, of course, support. We will always have posts and threads about support and deeper support. So I'm hoping that you're already getting some support, of course, here on this page, and of course in that free private group that's connected to this page. But the subscriber community would get more dedicated support from me. And also, I'm trained as a wellness coach. So I would also be doing coaching, and we would also have threads around self-care. So one thing that I've had to really do consistently throughout the years is practice self-care in order to manage my symptoms. Is something that's ongoing for me. I don't know how many of you know my story. I know that we all have different stories about what led us here and the reasons that we develop chronic fatigue. And I know, and also in our community, a lot of people also are dealing with other symptoms like chronic pain and maybe chronic illness in general, or maybe burnout. But my story, I developed chronic fatigue in my early 20s after having a ski accident and surgery. And I had a lot of energy beforehand. And then in the process of recovering from surgery, they had me on a lot of prescription painkillers and anti-inflammatories. And I was actually a modern dance major at the time. So I was dancing in college. All of that went away when I lost not only the use of my knee, I was only able to get my knee to about 90 degrees in physical therapy, so I wasn't able to move it very well. But I also developed chronic fatigue, which is really devastating on top of everything else. Years later down the road, I was diagnosed with CFS by a practitioner, which was really useful to know that it kind of gave me a little bit of, kind of, I don't know if relief is the right word, but it helped me to at least know that I wasn't alone in that other people were dealing with something similar. That same practitioner also diagnosed me with a liver disorder, meaning that I don't process a lot of synthetic substances very well. And that can lead to chronic fatigue, actually. Did you know that a lot of people with chronic conditions, about 40% plus of people who have chronic conditions don't detoxify very well? And that is a subject that I would go into great detail in our subscriber group. There are a lot of subjects that we can go into and really do a deep dive. And of course, I cover that in my book as well. Again, this is my book, The Memory of Health, A Journey to Well-Being, and you would get the PDF of this version as a bonus for joining if you came to considered being a subscriber. So I have to practice self-care every day to manage symptoms. And so that would be one of the topics that we would cover in our subscriber group is, what does self-care look like for you? What are habits that you can cultivate or continue with or consider trying that might help you manage your symptoms? Now, I am not a doctor and I'm not going to be prescribing to anyone or treating or diagnosing anything like that. But like I said, I am trained as a wellness coach. And I've been actually trained in several modalities and coaching can be really helpful in helping to build habits and manage habits. So that's something that I am able to help you with, in addition to, of course, sharing all that I've learned about different potential causes of chronic fatigue, different potential causes of CFS, and a lot of tips and tricks and resources, not only what's helped me, but what might help you. And again, my book does a real deep dive into this. Again, my book took me 10 years to write, and I've been sharing a lot of information over the years here on chronic fatigue support. Again, I've been running this page for 15 years, and I have shared a lot of resources over the years. But having a subscriber community would allow me to share much more original content. And of course, my original content is also in my book. But I know that sometimes it's not always easy to read through a book, when you're dealing with symptoms. And so I would pull out information from my book and of course, other topics. There's really an unending number of topics that we can go into in our subscriber community. And I really love sharing information. I really love helping people. And you would also get a lot of other perks for joining our subscriber community. I actually am coming out with an audiobook version of my book. I'm working on that right now. So that would be another way where you can listen to information about CFS and chronic fatigue. And I would, of course, offer, if I'm able to, there are going to be perks and discounts for people who join our subscriber community, exclusive interviews. I already have an exclusive interview in there that I haven't shared anywhere else. It's only in our subscriber community. All content would be original in our subscriber community. And again, you would get deeper support, answering questions to the best of my ability, and of course, coaching. So that's something, again, I only offer in our subscriber community. My hope is for you to get the support that you need on a deeper level. And it's also an opportunity for you to support chronic fatigue support, me and chronic fatigue support. So the way that you can join right now is, again, only from a laptop or a desktop. You might be able to join from a tablet. We currently cannot join from a mobile phone. So you'd have to go to a laptop or desktop or tablet. And all you want to do is go to the main page, Chronic Fatigue Support. Here, I'll share a link right here. And then you can join from the subscriber hub, which is toward the top of the page. So if you go to the main page on chronic fatigue support and then look up toward the top, there's usually a whole row of different topics up there, you'll see Subscriber Hub. And that's where you can join our exclusive subscriber community. And again, I'm really excited that Facebook is giving me the opportunity to do this. And I hope that you consider joining us. So I'm going to share a little bit of what I would do. Of course, there would be a lot of lives in there, in addition to educational content, in addition to support threads and self-care threads and coaching threads. In addition to all of that, and exclusive interviews, discounts, things like that, there would also be lives like this. So in a live, I would do a deep dive into a topic. So I'll share a little bit of that right now. I'll share something that I've been dealing with lately that, again, is related to what I mentioned earlier about how a very large percentage of people with chronic conditions don't detoxify well. So again, I do a deep dive this into my book, and in our subscriber community, I would do a much deeper dive, but it's a big topic, but it's related to methylation in the body. And this is something that greatly affects me. Again, I was diagnosed not only with CFS, but I was also diagnosed, like I mentioned, with a liver disorder. Again, meaning I don't detoxify very well. So something I've been dealing with lately in the summer is air conditioning. So I'm very grateful that air conditioning exists, but it also causes symptoms in me. So it's something that my body is not able to process the chemicals that are in the air conditioner very well. So it's kind of being stuck between a rock and a hard place, because when it gets really hot, I need the air conditioning. I developed an injury once in the very hot summer when I didn't have air conditioning. And I actually go into that story in my book about how I had some type of experience in my body that I don't know if it may or may not have been related to heat stroke, but I had a very serious reaction to the heat. And that was because I didn't have air conditioning, where it was like over 100 degrees for like 3 days. And so I'm definitely grateful for air conditioning, but I do have my body has trouble processing the chemicals that they use in air conditioning. So that's another opportunity and a reason why I have to practice so much self-care every day. Not only does it manage my symptoms in terms of chronic fatigue, but I also have to help my body detox better. And it's even more challenging under certain circumstances, including like when it's really hot and you have to use the air conditioner. So again, I would do a deeper dive to that, much deeper dive in my subscriber community. And I hope you consider joining us. Again, you can join from the main page. You just go up to the top and look for Subscriber Hub. And if you click on that Subscriber Hub, it should take you to where you can come join us. And again, as a bonus for joining us as a charter member, you will get the PDF of my book. So meaning if you're one of the first people to join us, as a thank you, I will give you the PDF of my book. The link is already in there. So all you have to do is come join us, and then you can go ahead and get the PDF of my book. There are tons of clickable links in there for resources and research on different theories of CFS, different theories of chronic fatigue, different research and tips on chronic fatigue. There's also my whole story that I share in there about what happened to me and what helped me to get better. There are a lot of things that help me to do much better. And again, it's something I have to stay on top of every day. Developing chronic fatigue changed my whole life. And, there's nothing I can do about changing that. I can't go back in time and not have that ski accident. What's done is done. I have a different body now. I have a new normal. And I am someone who has to practice a lot of self-care. I have to take really, really good care of myself to minimize symptoms. And there's nothing I can do about that. That's the way it is. But I've made peace with that. And when I do practice self-care, it minimizes my symptoms. And so I share a lot about what works for me in my book, which again, you'll get the PDF of. And again, I will break all of those topics down in terms of what has helped me, what might help you. My whole goal for you is for you to find your story in all of the content that I share, for you to find pieces of the puzzle and start piecing together pieces of the puzzle that might work for you so that you can hopefully start to gain some ground and feel better. And of course, our group is always about support. No matter how you feel, no matter what's going on, everyone has different experiences with chronic fatigue and CFS. And again, some people might be on our page or in our group because they have CFS. Some people might be here because they have chronic fatigue due to another reason, like MS, RA, rheumatoid arthritis, maybe lupus, fibromyalgia. Maybe they've gone through cancer treatment and they have chronic fatigue for that reason. So everyone is on our page for different reasons. And I do deep dives into all the different reasons that you may have chronic fatigue and what may help you. I've dedicated my whole life to it, and I've already been doing this for 15 plus years, and I'm going to keep doing it. And I would really appreciate your support in considering becoming a subscriber. And as a charter member, you could help me really spend more time creating more content for you to help you. So thank you. I appreciate you considering joining our subscriber group. Again, you can join from a laptop or a desktop, maybe a tablet. Just go to the main page and look up on the very top of the page for the words Subscriber Hub. Click on that and you should be able to join from there. And I'll see you on the inside. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye-bye.